Okay, welcome viewers. You are tuned in to Field of Dreams, and this is Axe Television Network. My name is Steve David. I'm your host. As usual, we talk football, but today we talk futsal football. And again, I am very new to futsal as well, so I want to introduce you viewers to futsal, and so you can come on board with this group that needs all the support they can get, because right now they're vying for World Cup qualification. I have my co-host who is very good and who is in tune with futsal, and that's Narada Wilson. Welcome, Narada.
Pleasure to be here always. Thanks.
And buddy, you gotta help me with this futsal as we go.
No,
all right.
Don't worry, don't worry.
All right. And next to Narada, I have Clayton Morris. Clayton, you the coach?
Yes, I am, Steve.
Explain to the viewers a little bit about who Clayton is and who the coach of futsal.
I'm Clayton Morris, former national captain of the famous strike squad. The national futsal coach from since 2004. Yes, we play in futsal since 2004. We qualified for the CONCACAF finals in 2004 and 2008. And just last month, January, we came from Cuba, where we came third, and we set up ourselves for a playoff with Honduras on the 4th and 5th of May. And winning those two games will take us into the CONCACAF final, where we in the group with Mexico, Guatemala, and Panama.
And yes, viewers, that's the Clayton Morris who is the captain of the strike squad. And now he's taking us in the futsal direction, which is a league that's a sport that's growing. So we need to get on board with them. There is two special players. Closest to me is Kevin Connell.
Yeah,
And Kevin used to be a national player as well, right?
national senior team. Yeah.
National team. Okay. Introduce yourself to the viewers and tell them who Kevin is.
I'm Kevin Connell. Yeah, I played for the national senior team, well, former player, between the years of 2009 to 2012. And Coach Clayton, told me about this futsal, and he told me to come out and try it, give it a shot. I know it's something relatively new to me, but I believe that once you're a footballer, so you have some foundation in the smaller games. So, here I am with the squad and enjoying it.
Just a smaller the bigger game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's indoor, kind of. Okay. And next to him is Kevin Graham. And Kevin, tell the viewers who's Kevin.
Well, I'm Kevin Graham. I used to play for Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force professional football team. Currently, I play with the Super League team, where we won the championship this season. Going there. I used to play for the Trinidad and Tobago youth teams under 20, under 23, and well, I have a couple caps with the senior team. I am one of the goalkeepers of the Trinidad and Tobago men's futsal team.
Okay, thank you. Glad to have each and every one of you. Welcome aboard. Sit back and let's educate our viewers on futsal and where you guys are and where you guys are going with this. Clayton, you want some opening comments or words, or you want Narada
I
to
think
open?
Narada could
Narada
give
open
a...
with
Well, yeah, I think one of the main things is that futsal is probably one of the fastest growing football related outside of the main grass football sport. We famously know Brazil and some of the top players there. But what I wanted you all to do is probably explain a bit about the rules of futsal, because I think one of the first experiences I had in futsal was at a pretty young age in Trinidad, playing on one of the indoor courts. And we actually played with a normal football. And I remember us taking shots and it ricocheting off the wall and all that. So I just thought it was like an indoor version to the game until I went and studied in Brazil. And then I realized the first cross I make, I put a little bit of power and the ball just dropped right there. And I realized the ball is actually heavier. The game is much faster than we think because, looking at the distance, a small field, they're not running as much, but the intensity of the game, your first touch has to be on point. And I think it's a reason why even some of the more experienced players end up doing okay in futsal, because with experience means you've played a million games over your career. So you've had a million times first touches. Whereas a younger player, it's so fast, the call and response, the demand for the ball is much quicker than on grass football. You don't have time to think twice. Some players already on top of you. So I think, just introduction to the game, if you could give us some of the, dimensions, maybe how many players, some little things that we don't know in Trinidad, because I could tell you from the tournaments here, now today it's more informed, but previously it wasn't.
Let's start with the ball.
Well, off at the top.
Yeah, fair
Off
enough.
at the top of my head, the ball, as we see, the ball is smaller. Well, this ball is soft and is slightly heavier, as you
Yeah.
just identified. It bounces less, right? The goalkeepers, most of the time, they block it. The field is the minimum size you could play as a basketball court,
Right, yeah.
but the size of it, well, I just came from Costa Rica, where we went for a workshop with respect to the tournament coming up, and it's 40 by 20. So it's a lot bigger than anything we're training on here.
Right now. Yeah.
The game is a mix-up of, if we want to say, the smaller version to cricket, like yesterday, the 2020 to cricket. There's a lot more excitement, a lot entering attack and what have you. Some of the rules it's amazing with some of the rules, because Kevin and all could tell you, when they come to adjust to the rules, it's 4 seconds. Well, the goalkeepers are with the ball. 4 seconds if the ball go out of play, you put it on the line. You have 4 seconds to execute it. Otherwise, they'll blow. There's flying subs. You have, well, according to what level of competition you go, they raise the number of players. Because we went to Cuba last month, and there were 10 players they accepted. That is 2 goalkeepers and 8 outfield players. Now we go into the CONCACAF floor, 14 players. So you have a opportunity where you could use 3 goalkeepers, a minimum 2, and the rest outfield players. And 5 players on the field at one time, 4 outfield, 1 goalkeeper. Right? And as I said, it's flying sub. There's a line on the field, a 5 meters mark, where you could only make the sub in and out there. And the player who coming off must come off before the player goes on, otherwise there's a yellow card.
Right.
Right? The referees, there are 2 referees in the game, and the referees got to be rotating just as the players rotate. So it's a lot. The game is very excited, and as we know, it's growing. America is going to start in their Pro League 2018. They launched it last year, and anything America put their hand to, is because there's something positive in it.
Well, it sounds like I played in a major indoor soccer league in America. It sounds exactly the same. Only thing, MISL had boards. The ball never go out of play. You bounce off of the board and stay in play. So it's similar to that, I'm sure.
Yeah, but the difference with this is that you play with the lines,
Right.
so it makes it a little more. And a lot of the tactical moves is from the ball coming from the lines, whether it's a corner, whether it's kicking, you call it, instead of throwing
Right.
in the football 11.
You
So
can-
a lot of, and a matter, without 4 seconds, you're working out a set play with that. So it's entertainment all the way.
And always no midfield plays.
No
either
midfield, it's
goal-
attack and defense. Just like basketball, you go, you shoot, and you get back to defend.
Exactly.
So as I keep telling the guys, once you're on the pitch, is work. If you want to rest, you go on the
Come
bench.
off the
You
bench,
don't go
yeah.
on the field to rest.
Right.
Because you have the opportunity to exhaust yourself, go rest, get refreshed, and you come again.
Well, let me ask you a question. How long, or you guys, how long you could stay on the pitch for? How long you can go for before you come off?
Well, I is a goalkeeper, so I stay on the.
Oh, well, the
pitch
goalkeeper is
It
different.
depends on if you're tired, you can make a sub very quick, but if you're a fit person and you're in the game and you're having a good game, you could stay as long as you want.
How
As a
long you
coach.
usually stay for?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It depends. If you're working hard and you might be tired at the point in time, you could come off within 10 minutes.
That's a long time. We used to stay like 2 minutes.
Well, this is what we try, but our captain, Joan Baltazar, created history.
What
We
did?
played against, the 3rd game in the group, we played against Curacao, who we didn't know anything about. Because when we left here, we know we were playing against Antigua Bermuda first game, Guyana the 2nd game, which we know Antigua, new to the sport. Guyana, we played them here before in final, and we beat them 5-0, I think. And we know the 3rd team was Haiti. So when we reached, just said, Curacao playing, so we didn't have any idea about Curacao. And when the game started, well, before the game, I told the guys, I said, listen, let's try and concentrate, be patient, and just see what they have to offer. And then we realized, hey, we in a battle here. We have, because we had played in CONCACAF before, and we realized these guys know what they're about. And it's after the game we found out that, well, Clivert is in charge of football in Crusoe now. They brought in about 3 players from Holland who play in professional futsal, and given that we didn't have a choice but to keep Joan Balthazar on the pitch for the entire game. Yeah, I must say,
So,
Steve,
yes,
40 minutes or 20 minutes and a half, and he had to stay because of the experience, because again, we went there with 40 players from 2004, and 6 of the guys who were new to the sport, and now again, one of the main reasons why here we are pleading for assistance to help us to get the right venues to train, financial support, because we went to that CFU playoff just with 6 practice sessions, right? So the new guys, it was really a disadvantage to them. So as the tournament went on, they started to develop. So we had to call on Joan to stay out there with the experience to help the new guys. Kevin is the goalkeeper. We couldn't even switch him. We lead in 7, and we couldn't even switch him because the other goalkeeper really doesn't have the experience.
So it's all about, let's educate the public then, because it's all about education, and so we can get the public to get behind us, so we can get the administration to support this, because it's important. And this is a national team like any other national team.
Exactly, and we keep stressing that because even Kevin case, because as he mentioned, he's by UTT, I'm the coach there, and he mentioned to me, Coach, I want to get back on the national team, but here it is, there's a national team,
right.
and from here, because even Joan Balthazar, he was called to the national senior team just the last, when they went to Grenada. From futsal here, he played in the Pro League, and Kevin and they were on the national under-20 team with where Kenwin came from too, and so, and this is what helping the futsal team right now. These players experience from having that exposure at the national level, because when the team came together in 2004, most of the guys, we would say, came off of the street, right? So it was difficult to get the kind of structure we put into it now, because these guys were just, they just play small goal, and they are the ones who didn't really think that they would be representing Trinidad and Tobago in anything, so now it's a lot different, and we have about 4 players from playing in the Pro League, about 6 who played in the Super League, so it attracting them, it attracting them now, so that it means that there's something positive about it, and we are trying to qualify for the World Cup just like the senior team, as I said before. 4 victories away from qualifying for a World Cup, for creating history for Trinidad and Tobago, and this is why we really need that support, so that we could put the country on the map the same way.
So Kevin, I've given you the opportunity, buddy, to tell Trinidad and Tobago why they need to support this, and are you the leading goal scorer? What give us some excitement, excite them.
As I said, new to this futsal. When coach called me to play, after playing it a few times, I just realized this is an exciting game. It's faster. There's really no room for errors. In a regular 11-a-side, or rather, sometimes you lose the ball, the player will track back for you. You have somebody to hold your position. This game is so fast that the time you make an error, bam, goal,
Right.
So you really have to be on your P's and Q's in this. It's something, you really have to work hard, and as coach say, you give, if it's 2 minutes you give in, you give your hardest 2 minutes, a man will come for you, So yeah, this experience is really a good experience, and I believe the guys we have, as coach said, Joan Balthazar is a really good player. Kevin Graham, it's experience. He's been playing futsal since what, 2005, Kevin? 2004, yeah. So these guys have the experience, and I'm kind of learning off these guys now with my experience from the 11-a-side football now to this. So there's a nice bunch of players, and we really look like we'll be going a long way in this. Even if we don't make it to the World Cup, I believe it's something growing in Trinidad, and we would love for the people to support it and show some love for it.
Kevin, how much goals do you give up in a game, buddy?
The most.
Yeah, what is score at the end of a game, a futsal game? Like in indoor soccer, 7-6 maybe. In regular soccer, maybe 2-1. In futsal is what?
5-1.
Okay, so it's like indoor,
yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, but Cuba is one of the teams that from this, they qualify for basically all the World Cup so far. And we, 2004 was the first year we started playing. And we were invited, after we won out CFU, they invited us to Cuba. And we beat them the first game 2-1. Second game, draw 1-1. And then the third game, they won 2-1. So
that's pretty close.
yeah, there's, you know, so there are times the game could be tight.
Could be tight, yeah.
Yeah, it could be tight.
I think it depends all on the opponent
And the
as well,
opponent,
and how the game is going. Yeah. Sometimes the game could open up,
Yeah.
and then it could be very defensive and tight about tactics, as coach doing these days.
Right.
You know, people might think, oh, that's small goal, you're just going on there and, you know, tricks, but there's more to that. There's tactics, there's speed, you know, so the game is different.
Well, I know it's physically demanding because I played indoor football and I know that. I mean, it's like you chain you up and you put you there and until all the chain run out, man, and you back off the field because there's no time to stop to breathe. You have to be going. I know what you're talking about. Narada.
Yeah. No, what I would like to is that because I've played it as well, I know, you know, the first time I played, I thought, you know, I'll be the midfielder. So I'm assuming, okay, one guy behind, two in front or whatever, until you realize that that's not happening.
No
you know,
position.
it really isn't happening. You can't think that that guy was your guy. You know, it's more zone marking if need be, or if you're going one-on-one and you're trailing however he's going.
Exactly.
You know, it's a very fast-paced game. And, you know, I was wondering, like Kevin, for example, playing on the defense force. I don't know if maybe because you're you know, the defense force built is what is causing you to last through those games. Because I know for the goalkeeper, it's a lot of reflexes. You know, it's as you're down, you're basically up again. The ball, the guy is going to take a free kick or whatever the case is, and it could already be goal. So I think it's a lot more moving, probably, than in 11-a-side football, where you could have long periods of, you know, once they're doing their job up front, you could have a sip of water, you could sit down in the goal. I think there, you don't have that opportunity because even at the kickoff, he could be aiming to score. So, you know, I was wondering, like, what you thought about the transition and how even being older in your career or in the latter stages now, how come you chose to, you know, what caused that resilience? Is it the defense force training or something like that, or just the person that you are?
No, I've grown to love the game of futsal. When I first started in 2004, I found that love for this game. You know, as Kevin rightly said, it's more exciting. With the game itself, you have to, as a goalkeeper, you have to be aware. You know, awareness. You know, your communication. You know, I stay focused in the game because I talk a lot. You understand? But with me talking a lot, I try to stay focused on my game.
Is there timeouts?
There's timeout. There's a timeout in each half. And
Only one?
Yeah, one in each half. And in his case, we didn't mention it, but if he starts, well, he always starts the ball with his hand, goalkeeper's goal clearance.
Right.
And once he gives you that ball in your half, you cannot give him back the ball.
Right.
Until it goes in the other half, or if the opponent touches the ball.
Right.
So that, again, it's a lot of concentration. Imagine the ball playing across and he can't get involved in it, so, you know.
Yes.
So it's a lot of concentration, and then if he makes a save, he has 4 seconds to release the balls. So, you know, and you know, I have to give him credit. A lot of times he make that distribution with his hand is always, you know, a long pass and it stays on the field, player receive it, you know.
Can he go the length of the field from his goal to the other goal?
Yeah.
You can do that?
He can shoot the ball and score too.
Okay.
Because in the game also, all right, there are times like if a player gets a red card, right, you have to play short with 3 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper for 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
If a goal score and you bring
bring
back.
it, yeah.
So what happens is that they would bring the goalkeeper out, but he has 4 seconds still with the ball, and they will bring him out to add a 5v3.
Right.
So, you know, and then there are times like if the keeper save and the goal open, he could kick the ball straight to the goal, you know.
And score.
So it's a lot of excitement, a lot of entertaining, as you know, as you all were alluding to earlier about goalkeepers with their feet. In this game, you need goalkeepers with feet. If you have goalkeepers could play with their feet, is a plus.
Right.
You know, is a plus.
And it's strategic to, as well, when a team is down a man because of an infringement,
Yeah,
2 minutes in the box,
yeah,
and now you could have 5 against 3.
Yeah.
That's like an automatic goal kind of,
Right.
or half of a goal. for you.
Also, what you could do, we could have a player with, could act as a goalkeeper,
Right.
but he has to have a different color shirt. So that goalkeeper, like if we want the goalkeeper to just save, we have this player come on to add the fifth just to attack. And
Right.
if the play break down, he get back. But he has to do it within the time and in the zone.
Right.
So there's a lot of excitement to
It
the game.
is. It is
Yeah,
very
a lot of
exciting. And that's why America wants to get into it. They just
Yeah, a lot
love
of
excitement.
Yeah.
And I think when our people in Trinidad and Tobago here understand what futsal is, I think we're going to get the support, man, because it's an exciting game.
We don't have time, Steve.
Well, we don't have time.
Just within a month. Just a month away.
Oh, that is for the tournament. That is to get to the World Cup.
They got to the World
Yeah,
Cup.
but the game continues though.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, well, so our plea to who we making the plea to support this venture.
Well, we got an invitation from Sports Sevens from Miami. Right, they offer us a 1 week, well, the 24th to the 1st of April. 24th of April to the 1st of May. That will take us right into the first game before against Honduras in Miami for 25,000 US, which covering 23 persons. Pick up from the airport and return. They offering us 3 games. They have a futsal court, taken care of. That is exactly what we need and will give the players that exposure going into the tournament.
Right.
So far, we have just been playing against some of the guys who play in small goal. They're really not playing futsal, so that is the practice we get in. So, we really need that exposure for the guys. And another thing, the field we playing on is not the size. There are 2 fields in Trinidad and Tobago that, could give us that dimension. Is the Center Excellence, which the situation there, and the UV spec. So but other than that, we have to stick to the indoors until further notice.
Tedious times, buddy.
Yeah. Where the venues we train presently are Tagariga Indoor from 9 to 12. That is on a Sunday. Maloney 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pleasantville Indoor. That is on a Wednesday 7, 10, and Central Indoor on a Friday 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
And can people come and watch you guys practice?
Free, yeah. People
Okay,
could come and watch
so
us practice.
viewers, you take a note. I know you can go see our futsal guys practice, and try to give them the support that they need. See Kevin. Kevin, what are you going to produce special, Kevin?
Yeah, some flair, some speed, and goals.
You the top goal scorer on the team?
Not currently. Joe and Baltazar.
Who's Baltazar?
He's the captain. That's the same guy we mentioned who got called up for the national senior team on the tour to Grenada before the St. Vincent game.
Okay.
Yeah, he top scorer with 8 goals.
The MVP.
He scored 2 hat-tricks in the championship.
So in futsal, because I remember playing indoors soccer, and if we play 40 games, I've got 80 goals. So you score about twice as much goals as games, right? That's how it works in
So again,
reality.
it's according to the opposition you're
Well,
playing
on
against.
average,
Yeah. But again, it's just 4 games we played in that. And then I don't know if you all count from the 2004 how many goals you all score if we keep in
I
check.
can't remember. No.
So it's exciting though. I mean, it's exciting because of the goal scoring, and everybody wants to see a lot of goal scoring and that kind of stuff.
And then some of the moves too, some of the rotation, and it's amazing. Sometimes you watch, as the guys sat and we watched Cuba played Curacao in the final. The guys who first time experienced it, we played the 3rd place, and we got the opportunity to sit and watch. And it was like you're seeing Cuba, like if the coach have them on a string, the guys just rotating. It's amazing for the crowd. And then, as it is, as the football 11, you're quite out there in this game, everybody just right over. 5,000-6,000 people right there close. And everything is entertainment. Sometimes the guys do some skillful thing, and whether they're supporting that team, they still applaud.
So it's like beach soccer is similar, right?
Yeah.
beach soccer, the ball is heavier than futsal ball? Or
Well, I'm not sure. We have a beach soccer player who is in the squad. He will tell you that when he come on
all
the
right,
set.
I'll bring him on in the second session. Nurada, you have any?
I just think, but in terms of the training and stuff like that, I think we always need to have the right infrastructure in place, because a lot of times in these endeavors, when we play at whether it be a smaller court or with a different ball, you set yourself up as a disadvantage straight away. Because if the court is smaller in Trinidad, the reality is you're not evaluating your players to the standard that they're going to meet out there. So, something like a camp like that would be appropriate, or even probably getting the relevant authorities to give the access to the facilities that are actually, of the standard. And I think the opposition is also important. You all need to be playing some top opponents constantly, because once the US gets involved in something like this, it means a whole lot of other countries are going to get involved. I think every country probably has a basketball court or indoor facilities, so you find it's easier to get on board with futsal, because colder countries, for example, that is why the States, a lot of their games are played inside, and what the States is doing is getting the basketball community involved in the futsal. So some of the club owners are buying into the futsal teams. They're going to be using the big stadia for basketball, for futsal. So their hope is that when they launch their league, that it's going to be, they always do everything big. And I think it's an opening for players from Trinidad now, if it's right in the States, for you to look at contracts sooner or later. So this is the time to be pumping, because we know within about 2 years or 3 years, things are going to be, at an opportunity to offer a livelihood to players. So if it doesn't work in the grass football, the 11-a-side, you have futsal, whether you have beach soccer. But these are the things that incorporate into having a good football program in a country, because you name the top countries in the world in football and check their futsal program, check probably their beach football program. That is what's happening right now.
Okay, I hear what you guys get a lot of practice games?
Yeah. Not a lot of practice game, but a lot of practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
So I want you to think about what would it take to make you better with, or what kind of practice games you guys would need, or what kind of teams you can practice with. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll pick up right there. All right? We'll be right back.
Worldwide Safety Consultants Limited offers solutions to your immediate and future potential problem areas by providing you with a qualified team of safety consultants. Worldwide Safety Consultants Limited, building a reputation on quality and value since 1999. Located 23 Todd Street, San Fernando, Trinidad. Phone 868-657-1534 or 868-788-6955. worldwidesafety@yahoo.com.
Welcome back, viewers. We are still with Field of Dreams, and this is Axe Television Network, and we're still talking futsal, not football, futsal football. And I've got two new futsal players, not new, but two fresh players added to the set. And I've got Perry Martin.
Yep.
And Perry, tell the viewers a little bit about Perry.
I'm the goalkeeper coach for the futsal team. Also was a former player at the futsal team from the beginning since 2004, 2008. Also played in the Pro League before, played at Carolina United Petrotrin, and presently as the coach of the futsal team.
And also next to Perry is Kareem Perry.
Yes, sir.
Another Perry. Okay, Kareem,
Yeah.
tell the viewers who Kareem is.
Well, my name is Kareem Perry, as you say. Former player of Northeast Stars professional team and Police FC professional team. Playing Super League right now because
I obtained an injury, so I started from the bottom to go back up again.
Right.
And well, I play with the national beach football as well, where we went to El Salvador on World Cup qualifiers. We came 6th in that, and it was a marvelous experience. And now I'm playing with the futsal team, and futsal is like my passion. It's like something I always wanted. And you know, with the coach we have now, with this coach
The group of guys.
and
yeah.
our skill, you know, the things that he teaches us, it is very beneficial with our tactics, and his creativity where the game is concerned is overwhelming.
And you guys learning now?
Yeah, we
still,
learn
yeah,
a lot,
yeah.
from Coach Man.
And that's good. That's good. You look like you're a defender. Are you a defender?
No, I'm an attacker.
Even though there's no defender, in
Yeah,
you have the
yeah.
presence,
Yeah,
the presence of the defender.
Yeah.
And so, even though I know there's no defense in futsal, it's right.
But there are positions. You name the positions, right? You have the goalkeeper.
Right.
Then you have the man just in front of the goalkeeper. You call him the fixed defender. And then you have the two wingers, left and right. And then you have the pivot.
Right.
But then they have different tactics you use where you get them rotating.
Right.
But you're right in a sense that there really are no defense, because once you go in attack and play breakdown, everybody had to get behind the board.
Right. Do you like leave on your striker longer than the other players? The pivot, as you said.
Well, it's according to the stage of the game and what is it's just like, you know, you're watching the game and you realize, hey, this person weakening, you need somebody, because you need the intensity all the time.
Keep it up,
So
yeah.
it's, but I said, you know, Baltazar Joan created history. We didn't have a choice to keep him. And not to say he was playing in the pivot position, he was all over, using that experience all over. So it all depends, you know. Sometimes you have your setup, well, you have your starting 4, your starting 5, and then you say, all right, we will go for 2 minutes and see what, but then somebody started weakening in an area, you need to replace that person. So it's not to say, all right, I will leave the pivot on or leave it. It's just according to the situation in the game at the time, you make the sub to suit.
If you guys were to make a suggestion and something that would take us from where we're at now to another level, what would that be? What do you think you need to make you move forward?
I think we need prepare properly, meaning that maybe we get the support from the federation.
Federation support?
Federation support and even the public. Because it come like a child, you're doing a sport without your parent support. I come like we prepare without the federation. We had to look for our support ourselves. So need all that. You need the head body, meaning the federation, to help us to reach our way we want to go.
Right. Kareem, you feel the same way? What do you think?
Yeah, as he said just now, well, with the same, as he said, we need a support where, you know, the resources is concerned. In order for us to become great, we had to play great teams abroad and stuff like that, you know, and that could improve us where the experience and thing that we need is concerned, you know.
Do you guys feel like you're on a national team, or you're like on a so-called substandard national team? Like you're not getting the respect that you should be getting because you're a national player like any other sporting event?
Yeah, I believe so because it come like the younger, the smaller version of the Uleman side. So it's difficult. I'm new to Trinidad too.
Right.
Trinidad and Tobago, so it's difficult to jump that hurdle because the public in our way of futsal. Futsal more popular in other countries, but in Trinidad, it taking it time to get it. It started off decent in 2004, because when we played in 2004, the UV spec was full. We played the final and was full. But people couldn't sit down in chairs, people sit down on the stairs. But that break between 2008 to now, it kind of dropped a little bit, and now we trying our best to bring it back up for the public to get to know us, for we to go to the World Cup where we want to go.
So you like stepchildren, Clayton. So what needs to be done, buddy?
Steve, well, I came to the national setup, and to be honest, after the experience 1989 and how we were, we were treated, I told myself, I wouldn't get involved in national football again. Maybe I might just go in the community, but here it is again. I'm spearheading a national team, and literally money coming out of my pocket. Right, because we started screening since March 2015. Right, and I have been spending money, because when I look, because this whole futsal situation, I go a little deeper with it. Right, it's like I now realize my purpose on earth is for this. Right, because I even, in Guatemala in 2008, I think that night was my birthday. I don't know if you really remember, Perry. The next morning I had team talk, we had a game. And I got up and I just decided, I say, you know what? This thing is more than just football team and players. And I coined a phrase for the word futsal. Friends united to save another life. Because when I go back from 2004, it's a Ronald Brayton, all these players, Perry Martin, and all the players who were in Inception, we kept together. So like friends, we staying together, we uniting to save another life. Because as I said before, some of the players came out of some of these areas where you have all these sort of crime and gangs. And we were able to pull them guys away from that. So we saved their life away from, from that kind of life. So again, as I said, I tell myself, I am not going through this again, but here it is, and then we got new set of players with that, as Perry mentioned, Karim just mentioned, the passion that they have. So that, keeps me going. And then you're trying to show the people, we're talking about fighting crime. We're talking about buying this gun and this. Look what these guys doing. So if we get that support, then, I see it as we making a contribution towards eradicating crime, So this is what keeps me going, Steve, because again, as they said, we are like the stepchildren.
So, Narada, you friends with the administration. Why the administration is not helping these guys?
I think first we have to recognize that futsal has a vote.
A vote?
Vote on the executive, for the executive, which means futsal is equal to the 11-a-side game, it's equal to beach soccer. It was the same vote that they went and applied for the clubs and all of that. However, I don't know if a vote means financial assistance in Trinidad. But the reality is, when FIFA designates money to an association, it's to take care of football. It did not say only 11-a-side or whatever the case is. So futsal needs to get the support, right? From my understanding, it is even less support than the senior team, right? Because it's less players, it's not as many games happening, as the senior team. So I think it's because they'll base it on the fact that it's new. It is played in communities that it could eradicate crime because of the fact that most of these communities, one thing that they have guarantee is an outside facility, a basketball court where we play the futsal. The same thing in Brazil, it's in the schools, they all have a little court that everybody plays rather than walking down the road to a savannah. It's easier to just walk outside on the court, which is right there. The guys have been together, so they know what it takes. I honestly believe it's because futsal hasn't been advertised to the right group of people yet. I think it's still shone, as you say, in the stepchild. I think it hasn't been brought out. If futsal decides to say, here what, we're going to attack corporate Trinidad or a particular group of companies, or we get involved, we get a group of companies involved, because it's easier for you to go to a big banking firm, let me just use, and tell them we have to play futsal on the evening to have the employees play, than for you to get them to get 11 employees to go and play by the Savannah, which is quite down the road. So the reality is people have more access to futsal or would play futsal faster than the 11-a-side game. But it's not being marketed the right way because we're not seeing the successes. I think until we could show that a life could be made from futsal, then it's going to be a uphill battle. The reality is we could see the professional league in Trinidad. We could see the players on playing abroad because of grass football. The reality is beach soccer is in almost the same position, but they are a bit ahead because we have, and I could say, I contributed to it, we have made breakthrough with players getting contracts outside. So a very small group is saying, hey, 3 or 4 players got contracts outside. They may jump on board a bit. What we need now is for futsal to get that up. And the reality is there are more futsal professional contracts around the world than there are beach football contracts around the world. But because we don't have access to it, we don't think it's possible. And for me, I honestly believe that the guys have to qualify for anything to happen. That is Trinidad. We want to change it, but it's not going to change until we start it with a young generation. So we have to accept that this is where it is. So for the short term, for the next 5 years, all our teams are going to have to qualify for a major event for everybody to then come on board and say, yes, there's a potential there. Because just as Mr. Martin is saying there, he saw the opportunity in 2004 where we filled out UE Spec, which is not easy to fill. I think the only thing fills there is graduation for UE. To then come to today where they can't probably fill an indoor facility, which is less seating than there.
You took the words out of my mouth because I was about to say that. I bet you if they qualify, everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon. And not only that, they're going to want to change the coach. And all of a sudden now they want to change this one. And you went through all the trials and tribulations. And then they want to bring other people in. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy in our country. I don't understand it.
But if there's one thing I could add is that Mr. Morris has to, and it's something even I have taken in some of the things that I do, understand that he has to be the person, you are going to be the person that had to fight the war for somebody else probably to benefit. When there reaches a point in time that it needs that person to do all the groundwork and realize that, you know what, 5 years from now they may sit down and say, X guy won the tournament or took the team there. But the reality is, the history books would show and the players will carry it on that the groundwork was done. For anything new, there's always a person that had to go through the worst for a couple of years until it reached on the front burner, and then somebody else takes it and go. You know, we may not necessarily be applauding the current national team coach on the men's team, but there are a lot of coaches that came through that sometimes we forget that contributed. So I think you just have to be resilient and know that if it's your life purpose, then this is the hard work you have to do for these guys. You sit down and you saw 10 years later that all these guys are still around, still interested, doing well. So you know who you're benefiting. And just to understand that the qualification is the main thing. That, as unfortunate as it is, that is the situation we're in.
Clayton, have you thought about probably, and I'm just looking to try to get you guys some funds because I think you guys need the funds. Like you guys open an account and have it, the number out there, so people who wants to make a donation to the futsal team that's not being supported the way it should be, they can do that or something like that.
You see, Steve, I didn't want it to go here where we're going now, but we have a futsal association that is, well, quote unquote, is inactive.
Okay.
Right? In the sense, we had a steering committee in place. The last meeting we had was February 2015. Only to find out when the last general election for the TNTFA that futsal had 2 votes and voted with an executive. You hear what I'm saying? So, you know, so the point you're making about setting up a account, I don't want to
They
get
should be
involved.
doing that.
Yeah, they should be doing that.
Exactly.
But again, as I said, the association, quote unquote, should be inactive because what has transpired with because I said the last time we had was a steering committee, only to find out for the election pass that futsal had an executive, a full executive in place.
That's all.
So when I brought that to the TNTFA, they said, well, they weren't aware of that, so they brought in the party and they started drill them, and they found out that they were wrong for what they did. So they said, you know what, we have this tournament to compete in January in Cuba. Clayton Morris, you handle the team. We will deal with that on another month.
I got you.
Because failing to go to Cuba, the association would have to pay $15,000 US, and then all with the national team that's played St. Vincent, they would have face a suspension.
Right.
So they sent us out there Cuba to save them money. We came back, one qualified, won a bronze medal. Up to now, nobody called us and say congratulations or came to any of our training sessions. You understand what I'm saying?
Or give you that 15,000 you saved it.
Right?
Yeah.
But here it is. You know, we are here going a step further, and they wouldn't even come forward to say, right, we're doing this or we're doing that. A matter of fact, when we went for the proposal for this part of the training, you know what they said? Suspend all training until further notice. All national teams suspended until further notice. Only the senior team and, well, the women team were in, where they were out in the States thing, that's the only team would stay active. All the rest are teams. So then, I mean, how we could stay inactive and we have a World Cup to qualify for. So well, I called the Minister of Sports, and we got 4 venues to train, as I mentioned just now, and here it is. And as we speak, I got a message this morning that the minister have a meeting. We have a meeting with him 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. That's the manager and myself. So I hoping that something really come out positive.
Keep the faith. I'm sure the minister is going to try to help you guys. Kareem, I know you guys have the answers, you know, but nobody listens to you. I'm telling you, you guys, I've been like you, down at the bottom, and nobody listens to us. So tell them what the answer is. What do you think? What do you think is the answer to moving this train uphill, man?
The answer is to give us the support that we need, because we have the skill, we have the passion to bring home a lot.
Right.
And because we not getting that support that we so desire, it's hard on us. It's hard, and like Coach Man say, he has to dip in his pocket, and we show that appreciation then, because it's his finances. You know, he has stuff to do with that, but you know, he has a passion to bring home, you know, victory, where us going to, you know, qualify and stuff like that. And you know, we had a game that will create, and
do you guys get
intensity.
Paid? Huh? Do you guys get paid?
We don't get no money.
Well, the money is out of your pocket too. You put in your time.
Yeah.
So your money too.
Correct.
I mean, you're not getting paid for this or nothing. So you are actually paying for nothing.
Gas in
you know how far we just had a go.
So you're spending as well.
Yeah, different training venues and things. It's a lot of gas.
And Trinidad and Tobago need to know the sacrifice you guys put in, and you guys talking about the hard work, and people money coming in your pocket, and you're doing this for nothing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, but this is like back in the day, man. Back in the.
That's what I'm telling you, Steve. I said I am not going through this, but look, here I am again.
Wow.
You're
glutton for punishment.
I'd like to highlight as well is that, you know, the reality is, and I guess I have to applaud you all on that as well, is that you have 4 venues where you're training, which is a nice rotation for the community side of it, because now a southern group could see you all, the eastern, whatever the case is, but the disadvantage is the cost, the time, you know, because now you all are going to different venues, and it's not like we have a bus for the national players to say, okay, they're just meeting at point A and we pick up everybody. It's really you guys sacrificing a lot. But I would also like to highlight that it's something that we don't even see on even the men's team, where they're training maybe in deep south. The next day they're training in Port of Spain, the west, which I'm positive if that was happening, a lot more people might even be on board with them. So it's really about highlighting those little things to get more people on board, because I now could say every Tuesday where I could see you guys, or every Wednesday or every Monday, which is a step. And you know, Kareem isn't saying much, but he's actually, just like how you said, if he was a defender, I am going to guess he's probably one of the wing players. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm guessing because I've seen the person on the field, And Steve, he
Understand
is a
the game.
runner. He's a
Yeah.
runner. He is one of the workhorses out there. So,
So
I know
like you was saying with the bus and stuff like that, there's a lot of inconvenience because a lot of players doesn't come because they don't have the finances to come.
Right.
You know, so
And that's
That's how
another
it does
struggle
be.
for you as
Yeah.
a coach. You can get
Yeah.
all the players every day.
Every
yeah.
day. And you know, it's a lot of, you know, there are times we have to repeat the session we did yesterday, you know, because a lot of tactical work involved, you know. We have set pieces up to about 12 set pieces,
Mm.
you know, so every day a guy miss a session, you know, he missing a lot, you know, so it's really, I know, you know, hats off to these guys. These guys make some effort because like last week or week before, Sunday, we Tagariga wasn't available, and I called Pleasantville, and they said the only slot they have is from 7 to 10. Normally train on a Sunday morning 9 o'clock, and those guys made it for 7. You know, they made it. I mean, it was tough. They made it, and they came and we trained. You know, so a lot of sacrifice, and some of them training with the Pro League team tonight, and tomorrow they're coming out. They play a game tonight, tomorrow they come in to train. You know, and it's really a big sacrifice because, again, we keep showing them where, you know, as I keep saying every time, don't matter what you do in life, your efforts, Steve, never go unnoticed. You may not achieve it here, but you would achieve it, you know, somewhere. So whatever effort they're putting out now, or we all putting out now, we would reap the rewards.
Clayton, we have about 5 minutes left though, so I want you to look at the camera and make a plea to whether it's the Minister of Sports, to the President of Trinidad Football Association, whoever, that your futsal team need the help and to get to the next World Cup, and or just to get this going, and whatever they can do, you appreciate it, and or whatever you want to say. But I'll give you this time to make a plea and an expression to them.
Yeah, I would really like, you know, for the authorities, who the powers that be, you know, to give this national futsal team the support. Think about the 28 players are making the sacrifice 4 days a week, 3 hours a day, right? Giving up a lot of the time. Some of the guys, we apply for time off for them from work, and still the supervisor, manager, boss, or head coach still tend to give them, you know, pressure for training because they feel that a small goal we're playing. But I want to remind you all that we are 4 victories away from qualifying for World Cup, where Trinidad and Tobago will benefit. And all these youths that are involved in crime, because just yesterday, Wednesday, this team, the national futsal team, went to the MSP prison, maximum state prison, where we played a 4-way tournament with the team there. And those guys, the inmates, were so touched that we have that support from them in there. So we are not just about, you know, just playing, we want to qualify for World Cup. We are also about saving life, because we know yesterday that event in the prison, we touched a lot of the guys' life. We even had one of our players, Karim Perry, share his testimony where he could have been in the prison. So we are simply asking for Trinidad and Tobago to give us the support. We are 4 victories away from creating history for Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much. To all of you guys, and to the guys who were there before, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you guys, and I hope that you guys get the support you need. And if there's anything I can do, as I move forward after today, I will try to help this team, this futsal team. Thank Access Television Network for giving us the opportunity to bring this to our viewers. Thank you, viewers, for letting us into your homes and to sharing this light with you. And I want you, viewers, to pass this word along to other people and other friends who haven't seen it, to look at the show, or tell them about futsal and have them support this group. They do need your support. We do have a Facebook page. You can drop us a line. And we do have an email address, fieldofdreamstt@gmail.com. Okay, so the show's ended. Go in peace. I'll see you next Monday. And don't forget, we need your support for the Futsal group. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Good night. The show's ended.